What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys as always, Nick and Xavier. And today, guys, we are going to be going over the 205-pound division, light heavyweight. We're also going to touch a little bit on that card that was this Saturday. Guys, let's just start with the main event here. Uncle Liev gets a fifth round stoppage. Now, there's a lot of negative talk about this fight on both sides. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like the fight. They said it was boring, but Ankalaev gets the dub that I think all of us expected he was going to get. What does this mean for him and the future of the division?
Um, as like the resident Ankalaev guy on the channel, let me just say, was this his most exciting performance? No. Do I think he was a little bit maybe gun shy in terms of his aggressiveness because of like coming off the Poatan loss the way he did? Maybe, potentially, right? Um, did he have so much more to lose than gain in this matchup? Absolutely. This fight kind of gave me shades of, John Jones versus OSP, you know what I mean? Like where it was very clear that Ankalaev was the better guy in there, more skilled, but it just kind of felt like you could be destroying this guy and you're kind of not really choosing to do so. That's kind of how I felt watching this. But to be fair, Guskov was offering little to nothing in terms of like offense. He was running around and kicking at Ankalaev's legs. I wish I had the numbers for like how many leg kicks there actually were, but like it was damn near all of them. It was like of the 45 total strikes he landed,
Was
like
around 20.
it was about 20,
Bam.
25, it felt like. Like it was like he was doing nothing with the hands, not kicking anywhere else, like to the body or anything. So this fight was really a lot of Uncle Ab just stalking him around the cage, you know, hitting him with like what was not the most devastating shots, but just kind of scoring points, wearing him down, tiring him out. And I think eventually, I think in round four, Uncle Av got sick of, him running around. Gustav started to gas a little bit, and he just started taking him down and mauling him on the ground. Um, and even like, yeah, this fight was a finish, but a lot of refs could have honestly let what was happening go. I just think that whoever the ref was, I don't remember at this point, but whoever was in there, they damn near stopped the fight. I feel like it was Mark Goddard. He damn near stopped the fight just because like Guskov was not moving and really doing shit.
He was done, bro. Yeah.
He was just cooked, but like it was not at all because like Uncle Lav was landing anything so vicious and damaging that he couldn't have survived through it if he had a little bit more grit, you know? So that's why people are kind of upset. I mean, at the end of the day, he still got to finish. I don't think that like if your opponent's not engaging you and running around the cage the whole time, like and you're not trying to walk into a bomb because you're just completely dominating the fight. Like I don't think that like the criticism Uncle F is facing is fair, but I do think that this fight did show the current level of the light heavyweight division, which is shit to be honest. Which is shit.
I mean, every day is looking better for Olberg in that injury. I can't even lie. Because this fight gave Uncle Live about nothing. Zero. First off, we couldn't get Guskov out under 3 rounds, and I've seen this dude gas in about a round and a half every time he's out there not knocking someone out. And two, like, this was mainly Guskov's fault. He was running away, circling out. Apparently, the coaches were saying this was their game plan going in, which makes me question the coaches a lot here. And they were saying it in the corner, like in a few rounds, from what I was hearing. But I don't know, man. It was just a weird strat the whole time. He was behind every round, just like off activity, throwing no hands. And, I don't fully blame Ankalaev. But the only thing is, when Guskov's not engaging and you're just right in his grill, please throw more. Like, you need to, like, do way more in these. I, I think Ankalaev could be the best fighter in the division, like handily, just based on his past performances, his skills, very well rounded. But he has a tendency in these fights for no reason to put no output out. It's had happened in multiple fights now, and most of them he won. Like, but all these low output fights just seem to go his way. But I don't know. I mean, I thought both of them had a poor performance, to be honest. Guskov definitely was a lot worse just because he didn't do anything this whole fight. To be fair to him, though, had to switch an opponent and take a fight a week earlier than he was supposed to. So, like, I mean, we weren't expecting him to win this fight. However, I never expected, from what I've seen of Guskov in all of his fights, to fight the way he did. I thought he'd at least go out on his shield. He did not. He chose a very terrible route, in my opinion, because he just allowed Uncle Ive to cut him down every time, cut off the cage very well, and like kind of just stand in front of him. Like I remember Gusov landing like one good head kick in like the second round, and that was like the whole fight I remember from him. Honestly, like there was nothing out there. This was a pathetic display from both, I thought. Uncle I just I liked the takedowns, like mixing it up and stuff for once instead of just striking. Cause I feel like he's not a good enough. He needs to mix it up in these fights to like be more. I wouldn't even say elusive, just like more dominating. I think if he started wrestling a lot more, like he could look so much different, especially because the striking, like he isn't getting the knockouts anymore. He got a finish here with some bullshit Guskov finish or whatever the fuck that was. But it, this I haven't seen him get a finish since Johnny Walker, basically. So I need to see this man improve. I've always I've always said it. I dislike his game. I think he's a little overrated. And this is another fight. I see the same things happening here. And maybe it's good enough to beat this weak ass division. You know, he just keeps winning these kind of fights. So, at least he got the dub. Probably fighting for the title next, I would imagine. So,
I mean, yeah, probably. Roundtree was supposed to be the opponent, and honestly, I expected that fight to be really close. I thought Uncle Ive was going to go in here. He should have bulldozed Guzkov. That's just my opinion. And the reason I say that is everyone online, every YouTube podcast short I see, they just pencil in Uncle Ive. He's the number one guy at light heavyweight since Pereira left. I totally disagree with that. I think Olberg is rightfully the champion. Did Carlos Olberg not just one shot Yuri Prohaska on a torn ACL? Did that just not happen? I feel like people totally forgot about that. The injury is super unfortunate. That puts a lot of question marks there. But Uncle Liev, he has the ability. Like I've seen him one shot people. I've seen him dominate people on the ground. And like I thought he had a lot to prove Saturday night after getting one shotted by Poetan. And I left disappointed. I think he left room for people like Navajo Sterling. If he makes a good impression on Saturday, people like Paulo Costa, people really like him right now. I don't think the public is going to favor this performance at all.
Yeah, I think that I think that when these fighters get in these positions where, you're in the Moicano spot, you're in the Guskov spot, you're getting a shot at whether it's a title or just a number one contender that like you're way outmatched for, you know what I mean? But you're just getting a fat shot up the ranks. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I feel like Guskov kind of lost stock in this in a fight where he kind of was playing with house money and still somehow lost stock because of lack of even going for it. People want to see you go for it, bro. People want to see you try. I felt like you said, Clark. I felt like he was just trying to maybe. I thought maybe manage the gas tank, but he just never did anything. And for Ankalaev, I would favor him against a lot of these guys ultimately. Um, but he has a way of like fighting methodical and making people fight at this like boring pace. But I do think in general, like he does struggle with like if you overwhelm him with like output and like just activity. But I still think that like he does tend to like also rise to the occasion. Like he only has two losses for a reason, you know what I mean? He does tend to like if you fight him, he does tend to up his own aggression and output and do enough to win fights, you know what I mean? So I do think that the Roundtree matchup would have produced a more exciting fight, and I would have still favored Ankalaev to be honest, even though
Yeah.
like he would have put up a much better fight. But I think that that fight that he put up would have also just brought a better fight out of Ankalaev, you know? So it takes two to tango, and I feel like Guskov, because he's just Guskov and he's like, you know, whatever, people are blaming Ankalaev for like not whooping his ass worse or like faster, but like really, like Guskov, you gotta fight, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my opinion of Guzkov has fallen off a cliff low key in these last two fights. I was really high on him off knocking out Span and Krylov. I know those aren't huge names, but he was just thumping, one-shotting people. He like gasses out against Vlahovic and almost gets finished. And then he like yeah, like you said, you gotta go all out for this. He didn't try at all. This huge opportunity. Didn't seem to take it serious enough. I don't know, man. All right, let's keep we can stay on 205 really quickly. What is the next title shot going to look like? I'm not sure how long Olberg is out for, but like, do you think the UFC might run an interim with Costa and Ankalaev if Olberg's not healthy enough? What do you guys see in the future for this division and the belt specifically?
I will say, like, I don't think that the company is in any rush to put the title on, like, give Uncle Life a title shot just off that. I believe he will have to fight again, personally, to get a title shot. And I mean, with the current state of the division, like, you know, champ on the shelf for a while, I mean, I could see him them running that interim matchup, you know, because I mean, especially if Navajo gets like a, you know, an impressive win, like. There's not too many contenders that like really stick out at the at 205 right now. I feel like the division is in shambles, and for a division that like was once the glory money division of the UFC, the glamour division, the poster division, um the division home to the most Hall of Famers at any given time. It's like a sad state of affairs, to be honest, you know? It's a sad state of affairs. And like, luckily, like, you have Polo Costa and Rob Whittaker coming up in weight and providing the biggest spark to the division right now. And that's kind of sad. Like, you know what I mean? Two fighters that, like, you can kind of both kind of look at them as being a little bit past their prime. Maybe Whittaker a little bit more than Costa, but like, they're coming up and doing big things up there because everyone's so ass, you know? So it's like they got to get that shit together. I know that there's some good 205ers in the world, bro. And we got to get them in the UFC. Like this shit needs a revamp because it's sad. Jamal Hill's still at 5. He fat as fuck. About to go to heavyweight seemingly. Like I don't know what's going on. Like we got to clean this shit up for sure.
I only see I have like three options here. I think it kind of depends on when Olber comes back or not. Um, if Olber does come back, I do believe his first fight would be Ankalaev, just because he was the champ right before Bahia got it back. I think they would give him the fight. I think the UFC likes him. You know, I think the fans, it's pretty split. Like, I don't think there's like a large hate on Ungalaev. I mean, Gon's getting more hate for getting like the best knockout of the year over Pereira at the White House. So I think Ungalaev's good there. I think he will be part of it, even though it wasn't that impressive.
Yeah,
Roundtree did pull out.
he does deserve it. He does deserve to be, I think.
Yeah. So
I
I
think he'll have to fight one more time at least, though.
maybe, but I think timing wise here, if Volberg has to, I'm surprised he hasn't even vacated it yet. If he's going to be out the whole year. Um, and so I don't know. Like, if it was interim, you got to go Ankalaev, and if Navajo Sterling gets that win, you just give it to Navajo
I
Sterling as
could
well.
honestly see them just sliding Costa in a big spot too as well because like he is like one of the he's ranked number 4 right now, which
Yep.
is insane.
And he has like a name.
He has a name. He looked really good against Mirzakhanov, who Ozma was hooping before that.
True.
Ozma was one of the big names, so he kind of took the Ozma shine. You know what I mean? And so I just think that like I could see him like in a big spot, interim title shot right now, just because like giving it to Yuri, even though he's Yuri, off of like literally just getting just the most boneheaded thing I've ever seen, arguably.
That was my other option.
Like
They
I know that they like they have a hard on for Yuri fights.
They have a hard on
You
for you.
you can't, and I mean, and why wouldn't you, right? But you cannot reward him with a title shot immediately after that shit, after what he just did out there. So I don't see it. I could see Bohio jumping Yuri, just off of the strength of that. I mean, not Bohio, Costa jumping Yuri just because of like recency bias and like his name. You know what I mean?
I could see it.
So
How sheer? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm gonna assume that like if there was to be one, if it wasn't Sterling, I could see them running like I say like Sterling gets pretty banged up. I can see them running like Ankalaev Costa just as an interim title for now.
Outside of like the main contenders we've been talking about, the only like kind of new guy I'm seeing is Navajo Sterling. How do we feel about him? He has a fight against Jan Blachowicz next week. Does he have a chance to creep up in here into title contention?
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it's because everyone's ass though. It's way more a reflection of like the division and the opponents he goes against than like, oh my God, I'm super impressed with him when I see him. He's just for the division, he's very talented. But it's not like like I still think that like were Hamzat to go up, I would still feel like more confident that he would mow down most of these guys, if not all of them. Like, you know what I mean? I do feel like when I'm watching Navajo Sterling, he does seem like a prospect coming along and learning on the job in there. And even though he has started to in his last two fights, like put the power out there and got two KOs in a row. But it's like against the level of comp, I do feel like this is a very top heavy division. There are some killers at the very tip top, maybe the top 4 to 5 max in this division. And then I think that there's a significant talent drop off. And I feel like the guys he's beating like are they don't give me the best idea against how he's gonna perform against a Yuri, even a Roundtree, you know what I mean? So I would have to see it to believe it a little bit with him. And while Jan Blachowicz is a step up, it is a fight that I'm expecting him to win. The man is like 48, bro. You know, he's 48, and so it's like, is beating Jan like if he doesn't start Jan, to be honest, and I'm not saying Jan is like an easy out, but like at this age, like I just do feel like I'm not quite sure what Navajo's ceiling is based on what I've seen so far.
I 100% agree. I think big question mark. I remember the last fight with Kutalaba. I think it was like a month ago or so. Um, he looked good, but I will say like Kutalaba is definitely like right there with him at times. Not to say Kutalaba is bad or anything, but this does just feel like a very massive jump. Obviously, he's short notice, but I will say they picked the perfect my good friend Blahovic. He's 52 at this point. So he's been in
Oh,
there a
yes, man.
long time. And I think he's gonna lose this fight again. Like especially like Guzkov really was kind of whooping him in that second round and just like couldn't find the finish. And look, I do think Navajo needs to prove some things because obviously he hasn't fought this level, but he is big, good striking, and when you look at the rest of this division, really the only prospect I see, man, I'm so sad like seeing Rackage's name.
Oh my God.
He's up at heavyweight now, by the way. You find Tybor at heavyweight.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's diabolical.
what
What the
card?
fuck?
I don't know what card this is. I think Noche?
That's hilarious.
Oh, I it just got announced recently. I don't know what card it's on, but uh so he's out of there. Like there's just no prospects. He's like the only one. Like everybody else is kind of like set in stone. Like Costa is the only other interesting one just because like he's a middleweight. Mirzakhanov's still there. It was a tough look against Costa, I would say.
Yeah.
And he is a little older. I think he's like 36 as well. Like imagine Olberg is our champ and he was like a contender at 36 years old. Can we get someone like in the mid 20s at least here who looks good? Like
No.
what is this?
There's got to be a kid in one of these gyms, bro. Like,
Somebody.
gotta be, bro. Some wrestler, like, come on, bro. Someone needs to. Jordan Burroughs, where you at? Like, come on, bro.
Like I
I,
think Navajo, even Navajo, isn't he like 30 like almost?
he looks older. I'm not gonna lie.
30. Like he's been around a minute. Like I've always seen him on the Izzy like sidelines for his fights in the past and shit.
Mhm.
He's probably close to 30, bro. Which it's like this is sickening stuff, but I hope Navajo wins that fight. Still has some stuff to prove, but I think if he keeps the course, he's like I think he'll get there, is what I'm saying.
Forgot where we rank the divisions, but like, what
This
is this
was
the worst division in the sport?
Yeah, this was second to last preseason. Right now, ooh,
It was
it's
heavyweight. This or heavyweight, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think this is worse than heavyweight for
I
sure.
agree. I think heavyweight is heating up with Hoke. We got Stevenson now.
I don't know. Sean Strickland making middleweight terrible though by winning. It's a
You're
close
not.
call there, though. No, I'm just kidding, but it got to be the worst, right? It got to.
I know we have this conversation like all the big guys are playing different sports, but come on, I want to see some big bad motherfuckers fight, bro.
I mean, Josh Hockey could really go down and save that division if he wanted. Like,
He
he would
could.
go down and baptize these guys, I think. But like, and I think he could definitely lose a few pounds if he wanted to, you know.
Bro, that's what Gable said in an interview. He was asked if he wanted to fight him, and he was like, "Bro, if Bo Nickel could take him down, like I
Yeah,
would
I
eat
think I
him."
would do. He said I would 10-0 Bo Nickel.
Yeah, and like
I
he,
love it.
he was saying like Hogan, he was telling Hogan he should go down to light heavyweight and be great. Like,
He said, but if he doesn't want
right.
to, it's like, what's up though? Like, he's here. Like,
I need to see that fight in the future.
That would be great.
I mean, that I think that is like a future, generational, like the next generation of heavyweights. Like, that's one of the biggest matchups that can be made. I think that will happen at some point for sure. They're already setting up the feud. Um, I would imagine, like in my narrative, like Josh Hokett, the villain, because he tends to be,
Yeah.
on his
He's
villain
villain.
shit. I do see Gable as like, more clean cut. I mean, like he's not clean cut, he obviously has some controversy in the background for sure. Like, but and partnering up with John Jones, I could see a subset of fans who just hate John Jones, just
Mm.
kind of like turning against him and cheering for Hockey. So
Fifty-fifty.
a fight where 50-50, like where both sides have their fans, and it's a nice little even money, not even money. I do think Gable will be the favorite by then, but close money matchup, you know what I mean? For the ages. So I'm down for all the drama with this feud.
Yeah, but guys, hopefully 205 heats up. It's not looking good, but we're going to be praying for the light heavyweights. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please go check out the TikTok and our previous videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.